Hello everyone, welcome back to Rolling Solo. My name is Adam Smith. This is round or part number 5. It's the continuation of the previous video because we weren't able to actually finish off the complete cycle in that last one. We were able to get through our complete player turn and run out of our cards, but we weren't able to actually move into the income and the prestige building phases. So I'm going to do those in this video, and then we're going to start the next video at a clean part 6 for our cycle 6 or round 6 essentially. There's one thing I want to make mention of, and that is something that Isaac actually let me know of, and this is something we can do similar to terraforming Mars. What the income track does actually continue, so I was correct in this going up to 11. However, you just leave your cube on the 10 to signify you've made it to 10 and now essentially restarting up here, so I've got 11 total. So just in terms of how we display it, that's how you would actually display that income at 11. All right. So that's all set away. Now the next thing we're going to do here is we're going to talk about collecting our income. Now as of right now we have 2 coins, and when we collect our income we just follow our income track, which we just talked about. So we get our 10 coins plus 1, that's going to give us 11 coins, which is a crazy amount of coins to get in this round because it's going to really help us out in terms of building. So I'm going to try to do this really quick by counting these out correctly. We've got ourselves, it looks like 10 right here. So this is 10 and the 11th one there on top of the 10 or the 2 we have here. So now we have 13 coins going into the next round. That's crazy, quite a bit of money there, which is perfect because we're gonna have a lot to do and a lot of buildings and prestige buildings to satisfy. Now, one thing to talk about strategy-wise is you'll notice I've actually left a resource 1 away on all these buildings, which I strategically did because what I want to do in the next round is to be able to hopefully deliver to all of them, which is going to make this go crazy high. This is going to increase like crazy. However, at least I'm only dealing with it when 1 new prestige building has come out, and hopefully that'll pan out for me. Otherwise, I'm going to be in big trouble. So here we go. Let's move into this. So we've done our collect influence. We're also going to gain a fleeting influence for every house we have on the board, and we currently have 1 house way in the back here. So we're going to gain ourselves 1 fleeting influence for that. And at this point in time now, we're going to talk about checking for our claim tokens on buildings. And so these are the neutral claim tokens I'm referring to. We have 2 of them. So what we have to do in order to not lose the game right now, because this would be a lose condition if I cannot pay to get rid of these tokens, is I need to actually pay the highest influence value, which comes from this space right here. So 2 lasting influence in order to remove 1 neutral claim token. So I'm going to go ahead, and again, this signifies itself as 2 lasting, but really counts as 4 total influence. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use 2 of the whites. That counts as 1 red and then 1 red. That's going to, by paying that right there, I'm able to remove 1 neutral token. Then I have to do it again in order to, so I luckily have just enough, and the cool thing is I'll be able to keep this lasting influence going to the next round. So now I've paid for this neutral token is now removed. So now we've cleanly kept myself alive. And the reason that worked out is because I hadn't actually gathered all my lasting influence in the prior rounds and had kind of stored them up. Cool. Another cool thing is that I get to keep these, and I'll get to keep them for the next round, which we'll definitely need when this starts skyrocketing by 1 lasting influence, as well as this extra, getting some extra fleeting influence. And the reason that happens is when, like I said, once these deliver, every time 1 delivers, it increases that count, which is going to get crazy really quick. So we've done that now. We've cleared that away. So we've stopped the lose condition there in terms of not delivering resources, but now we just talk about whether or not we're in the 7th round. Of course, we're not. We're actually moving into what would be the 6th round. So what I'm going to do really to just end this is just reset a few things. So my meeple is going to come back into my area. Of course, the cards that I used, besides the advisors, which I use face up, and I've already tossed them behind the Uber stacks here. Those ones are already discarded, the ones that I use faced up. So the ones that you're seeing here in front of you are the ones that I ended up using them as follow actions during the last turn. So we'll end up seeing how many cards I actually have in my hand here in just a few seconds. And it looks like we've got 7. Now, so with 7 cards, this will be the setup for the next round. So you can see that. These are the 3 advisors that we have. So you'll be able to see their abilities and take a look strategy-wise. This is our board layout currently. And if you want to pause, take a quick look at it, as well as our 4 prestige buildings, as well as my player board. And now we're going to go ahead and I'll just add a building in, just because now we actually have to bring one of these buildings out. Now, I did talk about having these 2 left over. This is where it gets interesting because I could go ahead and spend these 2 right now in order to bring the sleeping lion out. Now, if I did that, the only downside to that is I only have the ability to bring a resource to the log, which would be kind of silly. I think going after this one, Comfort and Class, is smartest because I already have Jewelry, which means I'll take the neutral claim off the second it goes into play. It's free, which is another bonus, and it's Cloth is my other resource to focus on. And guess what? I'm going to definitely have the Cloth in order because I'm going to need it to clear up this resource, or this prestige building next turn, as well as this prestige building. So I'm going to need Cloth. So I'm going to go for the free one. So we're going to take the free one, we're going to bring it into play. So let's find it in our deck of cards here, or a deck of tiles, I should say. It's called Comfort and Class, and looks like it's a long, straight one. So let's see if we can find this. I think it's probably, there it is. Awesome. So it's a straight one. Now again, with these prestige buildings, we can, this will actually sit here. So I have another card essentially to use as long as I deliver at least one resource, and I guarantee, and I will be doing that. You'll see how that works in a second. Neutral claim token will go on it. I just have to find a place to put this in a legal placement. So we can, with these things, put them up against other prestige buildings without any issue. I just can't have them sitting, well, these ones are fine. They can go anywhere. However, I do have to meet the requirements of the actual tile itself. So this particular one has kind of the rocks shown on it, which points to be a neutral kind of area. So what I'm going to have to do is probably do something like this. And this is a legal placement as I'm putting it next to a resource, which is mine. As you can see, you are allowed to actually have your advanced resources next to your prestige buildings. It only gets dicey when you have a location that you own with your own claim token on it next to each other. So this is a legal placement. What's really cool about this is that it's connected automatically all the way back through the roads, all the way back here to the Jewelry. And so that Jewelry advanced resource right now automatically delivers to this 5 points. So I remove this neutral claim token at this point, and now I can go ahead and also take one of my squares to denote that I've actually satisfied that delivery, meaning that going into the next turn, I have a little less to deal with, which is going to be good. Now, the other thing I don't want to forget about too is I want to go ahead and put all the neutral tokens on, and I want to also not make a mistake of forgetting about the points. So my points are going to go from 40 up to 45. The other thing that's going to happen before we start the next turn is all these neutral claim tokens are going to come back into play for anything that has an open resource that still needs to be delivered. So even, so again, going back to this one, you might be wondering, well, what about this one timing-wise? As Isaac had mentioned, if you deliver to it when it goes out, it actually you lose the neutral claim token. So no neutral claim token will be put here because I delivered at this point in the game, in the call to vote phase. So now we're going to go ahead and take this neutral token. We're going to put it on here because we need to deliver the what looks to be kind of like the City Hall resource. This one over here is a book resource we need. We also need a cloth resource up here. And am I missing anything? Yes, and one right here for another cloth resource. So there's going to be 4 of them that I need to focus on for the next turn, but my plan is to satisfy all of them within part 6 or round 6. So this is it. We're ready to rock and move into the next video. So hope you guys are enjoying. Everything's squared away. Hope you'll join me in the next one, and we'll see if we can survive building Gloomhaven successfully. So until next time, guys, keep on rolling solo.